The Federal Reserve just shook the world today. They slashed interest rates by 25 basis points. Jerome Powell went live to blame a weak labor market, and a Fed governor openly broke ranks, demanding a deeper 50-point cut. Meanwhile, Bitcoiners are celebrating. A gold Donald Trump statue holding a Bitcoin just appeared outside the U.S. Capitol. And Michael Saylor is calling Bitcoin Japan's next national treasure. The question is simple but urgent. Is this the turning point for Bitcoin, or is it the calm before the storm? What's up, family? It's Coach Massey, and you're locked in to the Daily Hodl. Before we dig in, a quick reminder. This is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Do your own research before making moves with your own money. Now let's get into it. All right, let's start with the news straight out of Washington. The Federal Reserve cut rates today by 25 basis points. Now, in plain English, that means borrowing money just got cheaper. Credit cards, mortgages, possibly, car loans, all of it could see some easing in the months ahead. But here's the real kicker. This isn't about stimulating growth. It's about the Fed trying to stop the bleeding. Powell said the labor market is weakening. That's not a throwaway line. When the Fed chair points to the job market, it means they're worried about unemployment rising, job creation slowing, and consumer spending pulling back. Remember, jobs are the foundation of the U.S. economy. If Americans stop spending, the whole system starts wobbling. This cut tells us the Fed is nervous. They look like they're between a rock and a hard place now. Speaking of now, the headline everyone's missing is the dissent. Fed Governor Miran wanted a 50 basis point cut. That's the newly appointed one. That's double what Powell and the majority of everyone on the chair committee was voting for. So why does this matter? Because it shows the Fed is divided. Some members believe the economy is weakening so fast that small steps won't cut it. They want bold action, basically admitting the ship is taking on water faster than Powell will say publicly. Think about the signal this sends to markets. Traders and institutions are watching the Fed not just for what they do, but how unified they are. A split like this makes investors nervous. Nervous investors look for safety. And increasingly, that safety isn't the dollar, it's Bitcoin. So, here's where things get spicy. According to today's dot plot, 6 Fed officials see no more cuts in 2025, while 9 officials see 2 additional cuts this year. If that happens, that would be 3 in a row. That's a big spread. It means half the room thinks inflation will stay sticky and can't cut anymore, while the other half thinks the economy is so fragile they'll have to slash at least 2 more times before New Year's Eve. Family, this is exactly the kind of split that creates volatility. The bond market hates this. Stocks get jittery. And Bitcoin, well, Bitcoin was designed for moments like this. I know because I bought a lot today. Now let's zoom out. When central banks cut rates, they're admitting weakness in the fiat system. They're saying, we can't let the dollar hold this level. We need the juice to be squeezed in the system. So, when you combine that with global corporate adoption, and Michael Saylor saying that Metaplanet could be Japan's next richest, most valuable company by buying Bitcoin, well, then it's no longer just hype, because Metaplanet is literally following MicroStrategy's playbook. And if you've watched MicroStrategy stocks since Saylor went all in, you know how powerful this strategy could be. For the first time, Japanese capital is waking up to Bitcoin as a Treasury Reserve asset. Imagine what happens if other Asian corporations follow. This is no longer a US-only story. This is global. And then there's the wild story of the day. Going to Donald Trump's statue holding Bitcoin outside the US Capitol. Now, you can laugh at the spectacle. I know I thought it was funny. But don't ignore the symbolism. Trump has openly called himself the crypto president. He's hinted at backing Bitcoin as a national strategic reserve. And now, in the heart of Washington, you got a statue of him literally holding Bitcoin the same day the Fed cuts rates. Look, it's not political. I don't care what side you're on. I'm just stating the facts about the statue and Bitcoin. Now, that's not just a meme. That's a message. Bitcoin has moved from being a financial asset to being a political weapon. It's not part of the culture war, the election cycle, and the financial system all at once. It's better because it's Bitcoin. This is a moment where Bitcoin stops being just an investment and becomes a cultural force. So let's put it all together. 1. The Fed just admitted the labor market is weak. 2. Rate cuts are here and more possibly to come this year. And number 3, The Fed is divided internally, and division, well, that creates uncertainty. And you have Michael Saylor betting on Bitcoin in Japan through Metaplanet, which, if you know, Trump's son is part of that board of Metaplanet. Also, a golden Trump statue holding Bitcoin is making headlines worldwide. This is the perfect storm. Central banks losing credibility, corporations stacking Bitcoin, and culture rallying around it. That's not noise, that's a signal. For hodlers, the key is discipline. Don't chase headlines, don't over leverage, play the long game. Bitcoin is volatile, and it was built for times like this. Family, let's get into it. Drop your thoughts in the comments now. Did Powell just confirm Bitcoin's bull case with this rate cut? Or should the Fed have gone bigger with 50 basis points today? And what do you think about the golden Trump statue holding a Bitcoin? Meme or message? Let me know. I want to hear your take. Again, it's not political, just the facts. This is a financial channel. Remember, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs real Bitcoin news in their feed today. The mainstream media isn't telling this story the way we are. So make sure you're here and make sure your friends are here, maybe even family. Well, that's your daily hodl. Stay sharp, stay disciplined, and as always, lead, pray, hodl. I'll see you in the next one.